Daniel, chapter 9 through chapter 11, verse 28. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, of the seed of the Medes, who reigned over the kingdom of the Chaldeans, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of the years which was the word of the Lord to the prophet Jeremiah, even 70 years for the accomplishment of the desolation of Jerusalem. And I set my face toward the Lord God, to seek him diligently by prayer and supplications with fastings and sackcloth. And I prayed to the Lord my God, and confessed and said, O Lord, the great and wonderful God, keeping thy covenant and thy mercy to them that love thee, and to them that keep thy commandments. We have sinned, we have done iniquity, we have transgressed, and we have departed and turned aside from thy commandments and from thy judgments. And we have not hearkened to thy servants, the prophets, who spoke in thy name to our kings, and our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. To thee, Lord, belongs righteousness, and to us confusion of face, as at this day. To the men of Judah, and to the dwellers in Jerusalem, and to all Israel, to them that are near, and to them that are far off on all the earth, wherever thou hast scattered them, for the sin which they committed. In thee, O Lord, is our righteousness, and to us belongs confusion of face, and to our kings, and to our princes, and to our fathers, forasmuch as we have sinned. To thee, the Lord our God, belong compassions and forgiveness, whereas we have departed from thee. Neither have we hearkened to the voice of the Lord our God, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by the hands of his servants the prophets. Moreover, all Israel have transgressed thy law, and have refused to hearken to thy voice. So the curse has come upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he has confirmed his words, which he spoke against us, and against our judges who judged us, by bringing upon us great evils, such as have not happened under the whole heaven, according to what has happened in Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all these evils have come upon us, yet we have not besought the Lord our God, that we might turn away from our iniquities, and have understanding in all thy truth. The Lord also has watched and brought the evils upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his work, which he has executed, but we have not hearkened to his voice. And now, O Lord our God, who brought us thy people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and made us to thyself a name, as at this day, we have sinned, we have transgressed. O Lord, thy mercy is over all. Let, I pray thee, thy wrath turn away, and thine anger from thy city Jerusalem, even thy holy mountain. For we have sinned, and because of our iniquities, and those of our fathers, Jerusalem and thy people are become a reproach among all that are round about us. And now, O Lord our God, hearken to the prayer of thy servant, and his supplications, and cause thy face to shine on thy desolate sanctuary, for thine own sake, O Lord. Incline thine ear, O my God, and hear. Open thine eyes, and behold our desolation, and that of thy city on which thy name is called. For we do not bring our pitiful case before thee on the ground of our righteousness, but on the ground of thy manifold compassions, O Lord. Hearken, O Lord, be propitious, O Lord, attend, O Lord, delay not, O my God, for thine own sake, for thy name is called upon thy city and upon thy people. And while I was yet speaking, and praying, and confessing my sins and the sins of my people Israel, and bringing my pitiful case before the Lord my God concerning the holy mountain, yea, while I was yet speaking in prayer, behold, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, came flying, and he touched me about the hour of the evening sacrifice. And he instructed me, and spoke with me, and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to impart to thee understanding. At the beginning of thy supplication the word came forth, and I am come to tell thee, for thou art a man much beloved. Therefore, consider the matter, understand the vision. 70 weeks have been determined upon thy people, and upon the holy city, for sin to be ended, and to seal up transgressions, and to blot out the iniquities, and to make atonement for iniquities, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal the vision and the prophet, and to anoint the most holy. And thou shalt know and understand that from the going forth of the command for the answer, and for the building of Jerusalem, until Christ the Prince, there shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks, and then the time shall return, and the street shall be built, and the wall, and the time shall be exhausted. And after the 62 weeks, the Anointed One shall be destroyed, and there is no judgment in him, and he shall destroy the city and the sanctuary with the prince that is coming. They shall be cut off with a flood, and to the end of the war, which is rapidly completed, he shall appoint the city to desolations. And 1 week shall establish the covenant with many, and in the midst of the week my sacrifice and drink offering shall be taken away, and the temple shall be the abomination of desolations. And at the end of the time an end shall be put to the desolation. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of the Persians, a thing was revealed to Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar. And the thing was true, and great power and understanding in the vision was given to him. In those days I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, and no flesh or wine entered into my mouth. Neither did I anoint myself with oil, until 3 whole weeks were accomplished. On the 24th day of the 1st month, I was near the great river, which is Tigris Edekel. I lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a man clothed in linen, and his loins were girt with gold of Ophaz, and his body was as Tharsis, and his face was as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his legs as the appearance of shining brass, and the voice of his words as the voice of a multitude. And I, Daniel, only saw the vision, and the men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great amazement fell upon them, and they fled in fear. So I was left alone, and saw this great vision, and there was no strength left in me, and my glory was turned into corruption, and I retained no strength. Yet I heard the voice of his words, and when I heard him, I was pricked in the heart, and I fell on my face to the earth. And behold, a hand touched me, and it raised me on my knees. And he said to me, O Daniel, man greatly beloved, understand the words which I speak to thee, and stand upright. For I am now sent to thee. And when he had spoken to me this word, I stood trembling. And he said to me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand, and to afflict thyself before the Lord thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come because of thy words. But the prince of the kingdom of the Persians withstood me 21 days. And behold, Michael, one of the princes, came to help me. I left him there with the chief of the kingdom of the Persians. And I have come to inform thee of all that shall befall thy people in the last days, for the vision is yet for many days. And when he had spoken with me according to these words, I turned my face to the ground, and was pricked in the heart. And behold, as it were, the likeness of the Son of Man touched my lips, and I opened my mouth, and spoke, and said to him that stood before me, O my Lord, at the sight of thee my bowels were turned within me, and I had no strength. And how shall thy servant be able, O my Lord, to speak with this my Lord? And as for me, from henceforth strength will not remain in me, and there is no breath left in me. And there touched me again, as it were, the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me, and said to me, Fear not, man greatly beloved, peace be to thee. Quit thyself like a man, and be strong. And when he had spoken with me, I received strength, and said, Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. And he said, Knowest thou wherefore I am come to thee? And now I will return to flight with the prince of the Persians. And I was going in, and the prince of the Greeks came. But I will tell thee that which is ordained in the scripture of truth, and there is no one that holds with me in these matters, but Michael your prince. And I in the 1st year of Cyrus stood to strengthen and confirm him. And now I will tell thee the truth. Behold, there shall yet rise up 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be very far richer than all. And after that he is master of his wealth. He shall rise up against all the kingdoms of the Greeks. And there shall rise up a mighty king, and he shall be lord of a great empire, and shall do according to his will. And when his kingdom shall stand up, it shall be broken, and shall be divided to the 4 winds of heaven, but not to his posterity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled over. For his kingdom shall be plucked up, and given to others beside these. And the king of the south shall be strong, and one of their princes shall prevail against him, and shall obtain a great dominion. And after his years they shall associate, and the daughter of the king of the south shall come to the king of the north to make agreements with him, but he shall not retain power of arm. Neither shall his seed stand, and she shall be delivered up, and they that brought her, and the maiden, and he that strengthened her in these times. But out of the flower of her root there shall arise one on his place, and shall come against the host, and shall enter into the strongholds of the king of the north, and shall fight against them and prevail. Yea, he shall carry with the body of captives into Egypt their gods with their molten images, and all their precious vessels of silver and gold, and he shall last longer than the king of the north. And he shall enter into the kingdom of the king of the south, and shall return to his own land. And his sons shall gather a multitude among many, and one shall certainly come and overflow, and pass through, and he shall rest and collect his strength. And the king of the south shall be greatly enraged, and shall come forth, and shall war with the king of the north, and he shall raise a great multitude. But the multitude shall be delivered into his hand, and he shall take the multitude, and his heart shall be exalted, and he shall cast down many thousands, but he shall not prevail. For the king of the north shall return, and bring a multitude greater than the former. At the end of the times of the years, an invading army shall come with a great force, and with much substance. And in those times many shall rise up against the king of the south, and the children of the spoilers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish division, and they shall fail. And the king of the north shall come in, and cast up a mound, and take strong cities, and the arms of the king of the south shall withstand, and his chosen one shall rise up, but there shall be no strength to stand. And he that comes in against him shall do according to his will, and there is no one to stand before him. And he shall stand in the land of beauty, and it shall be consumed by his hand. And he shall send his face to come in with the force of his whole kingdom, and shall cause everything to prosper with him. And he shall give him the daughter of women to corrupt her, but she shall not continue, neither be on his side. And he shall turn his face to the islands, and shall take many, and cause princes to cease from their reproach. Nevertheless, his own reproach shall return to him. Then he shall turn back his face to the strength of his own land, but he shall become weak, and fall, and not be found. And there shall arise out of his root one that shall cause a plant of the kingdom to pass over his place, earning kingly glory. And yet in those days shall he be broken, yet not openly, nor in war. One shall stand on his place, who has been set at naught, and they have not put upon him the honor of the kingdom. But he shall come in prosperously, and obtain the kingdom by deceitful ways. And the arms of him that overflows shall be washed away as with a flood from before him, and shall be broken, and so shall be the head of the covenant. And because of the leagues made with him, he shall work deceit, and he shall come up and overpower them with a small nation. And he shall enter with prosperity, and that into fertile districts, and he shall do what his fathers and his fathers' fathers have not done. He shall scatter among them plunder, and spoils, and wealth, and he shall devise plans against Egypt, even for a time. And his strength and his heart shall be stirred up against the king of the south with a great force, and the king of the south shall engage in war with a great and very strong force. But his forces shall not stand, for they shall devise plans against him. And they shall eat his provisions, and shall crush him, and he shall carry away armies as with a flood, and many shall fall down slain. And as for both the kings, their hearts are set up upon mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper. For yet the end is for a fixed time. And he shall return to his land with much substance, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant. And he shall perform great deeds, and return to his own land. The Revelation of St. John the Theologian, chapter 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. There came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. It had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and breadth and height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof, and 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third a chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th a chrysoprasus, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor unto it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.